everybody. Good afternoon. You are watching the Nourish 5 Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. And today, my guest is the wonderful, effervescent, creative, and talented Jasmine Rosario. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm so glad to have Jasmine here today. You guys know I've been on vacation, and so, I wasn't really prepared. I'm going to be honest. I really wasn't prepared for today, but I have friends, lots of them, and we have really solid relationships. So, us queens here in Queens, what we do is we don't let our crown slip. And so I just reached out to a couple of people I know to see whether or not they knew somebody that would be available and willing to tell their story, their entrepreneurial journey. And my friend Cassell, or should I say our friend,
Yes.
Cassell Lee, who I've had on this program as well, she was able to reach out to her network and put me in touch with Jasmine again because we met at an event where I was honored a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it was March?
Yeah, for Women's History Month, right. And so we met there, and I'm very intrigued about Jasmine's story, especially about her poetry because I'm a closet poet.
Really?
Yeah, I got a book of poems somewhere. And so I'm intrigued by not only her creativity as a poet, but also I'm intrigued by her new entrepreneurial venture as the CEO of Rose Garden Events.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to get started, okay?
Okay.
So hey Jasmine, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What you been doing since I saw you in March?
Oh man, a lot. I'm pretty much tied up. I'm hosting 2 monthly open mics, and I also did a showcase at the end of March that took a lot out of me because it's not easy putting together, curating the talent, and then executing this showcase.
So tell me about the showcase. What are the names? What were the names of the showcases? Where did you hold them? What kind of talent did you have there?
Well, the showcase that we did was on March 29th, and it's a series that I started in October of last year. So it's the second installment, and it's called A Night with Kings and Queens. And the whole theme of the event is to honor creative royalty. So I'm a spoken word poet. I've been writing for 20 years. I've been writing, a little more than 20 years now. And I wanted to put something together where I can get talented people in one space, a safe space for them to just, show their talents, show the world, what they can do. So we had some spoken word poets, we had some singers, we had hip hop artists, we had belly dancers.
Wow.
We had a comedian there. We had a couple of people doing live art, so they were painting art live in front of everyone while the event was going on. We had some food vendors and stuff like that, and it was just it was a whole vibe.
Here in Queens?
It was actually right upstairs.
Oh, upstairs in the I forgot what it's called. New York
It's called
Studios?
NYC Venue Space.
Okay.
I've done 2 events there already, and I love the space.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's just ideal, the size of it, the location. It works for me.
Yeah,
so,
it's right by a parking lot.
Yeah,
so
2 parking lots.
Makes it easy. And next to the police department, so it's safe.
Yes,
very safe.
No one's acting up.
Right. So, when people want to be part of your program, how do they get in touch with you? Do people know to contact you to let you know that they're poets, spoken word artists? I mean, how does that happen? Do you do a call, an axe? How do you get people involved?
Well, I've been in this poets community on social media for a long time, so I have a network of people that usually for the showcases I reach out to people and I ask them to be a part of the showcase.
Okay.
Because I'm hand picking talent to put together in one event.
Okay.
But for the open mics, usually people just reach out to me on Instagram, or somebody will tag them and put say, hey, this she's doing open mics. I have a good relationship with a few other curators that do the same thing that I do.
Okay.
So sometimes when someone reaches out to me and they want to be featured at the open mic and I don't have a slot, I'll send them over to like 2 or 3 other people and say, hey, they might be able to feature you, or or if I meet someone that's really great and I featured them, I'll tell them to like, hey, go reach out to this person and they can feature you too. So get out there.
So let's go back a little bit. So you said you've been doing spoken word for over 20 years.
I've been writing for 20 years. I recently
You don't even look that old. But anyway.
I've been writing.
Tell me about your beginnings. Like, how did you get started? How did you know that you were good and that what you were thinking, creating, was ready for prime time? Like, give us a little backstory.
I am a big hip hop fan. Like, I grew up, like, the 90s hip hop was like to me like the golden classic era of hip hop, and like hip hop really to me was just like poetry over beats. Okay. So listening to a lot of hip hop is what inspired me to like write. Okay. But I didn't want to be a rapper. I was like, that's not really me. Okay. So I was like, maybe I'll start writing some poetry. And I started with like, I was 16, so I was writing about love, or what I thought love was at that age, and heartbreak. Just like every day, something new. Something new was breaking my heart. Right. And I really didn't think I was like that good. I was just writing. And then like when I got into my 20s, I didn't share my poetry with people. And then I started kind of sharing it with other writers. Okay. And they would be like, oh, you're so good. You should go up there and start like performing. And I was like, hell no. Like I was so scared. Just thinking about it made me nervous. Right. Like immediate anxiety. Like, right. And then I wrote this one poem. It was titled Soldier of Love, and it was inspired by the Sade album Soldier of Love and the song. And I wrote it, and then like I went back and like read it, and I was like, wow, I was like, this is like really good. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. And then I started like keeping my stuff more, and I would go back, and I still go back to stuff that I wrote like 10 years ago, and I'm like, wow, this is still pretty good 10 years, like. And I don't know, I hid it. I kept it in social media for a long time, and then I went through a point in my life where like a lot was going on, too much was going on, and I felt like I needed some type of change for myself. Okay. And I think part of that was I thought maybe I should just start performing, maybe that's the change I need. I need to get out of my comfort zone. And I went to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, which is like, it's like the mecca for poets, and I went to a show and they had an open mic at the end, and I went up there and I read a poem, and I was shaking.
How old were you?
It was recent. I was like in my 30s.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I have been writing for like a long time already, and I was like, it was scary. It was just like all this time, I could have been doing this like years ago. Right. And now it's like I go up there and I'm always nervous before I touch the stage, but like the second I get up there and I like touch the mic, it like all disappears, and I feel like I'm in my like
your element.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah.
And you're with people that really love poetry.
Yes.
So you're amongst like-minded people,
yes,
right?
And that feels good.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Can you recite Soldier of Love still?
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Because if you can, that would be wonderful.
I don't remember it.
Well, what do you remember? What spoken word piece could you share with the audience?
Can I say the word?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this piece called titled "The Bad Bitch Syndrome," and it's basically commenting on like how women, they like glorify this term "bad bitch." Like these girls are growing up thinking like that's what I want to be. That's the goal. I gotta be a bad bitch. And to me, that's just like kind of disrespectful.
Not kind of.
It's like it's. I don't know why anybody would want to be called that. And this is what the piece basically talks about. And It actually, the piece starts with me walking down Jamaica Avenue, which is not too far from here, and two men were like looking at me, and I didn't want them to look at me, but I know they did. And then one turns to the other, and he's like, "Yo, check out that bad bitch." So then I turn around and I say, "I see you admiring the Boricua jeans in my jeans." That's right. These curves are cultivated by rice and beans. Your eyes devour me as if they haven't feasted in weeks, but you're too blind to see that there's true gems in me. There's true gems in me. Do you hear me? There's true gems in me. My womb controlled by the moon like the waves of the seas, and my strength fed by the labor fruits of Mother Earth, and my path beaten yet resilient, enduring more pain and suffering than any man can stand. The threshold's pretty high for what it's worth, so no, I'm no bad bitch. You see, bad bitches chew holes in your clothes and they bury your keys in the ground. I pierce your mind with spears of knowledge, and I bury the notion that my body's your playground. Bad bitches play fetch, and they don't even bring back the stick. I don't got time for your games of that bullshit you spit. But you don't hear me though. You too busy breaking your neck to catch a glimpse of the switch in my hips. So in no way, shape, or form in my household pet, get it straight, my dude. I'm no bad bitch. You see me, I'm a muse of my own creations. And I use the language of art to express who I am, but you seem to be lost in translation. You see, I'm a soldier of my own revolution, and my battle cries will never fall upon your deaf ears. So here, revel in this rebel solution. So for the last time, this queen from Queens is no bad bitch. Bad bitches stay chained up to anything that'll hold them down. Meanwhile, I stride with my head held high, rocking wisdom on my crown. Majestic gems affixed to my thoughts, I'm dropping jewels of guidance. Paradox of virtue through my pupils, they shine. And all you gotta do is take a look at my eyes and see that being a bad bitch is a false reality. My queens, you are the royal bearers of our future. You are the fire that simmers in the eyes of truth. Please understand that the last thing you want to be called is a bad bitch. Because bad bitches sleep outside and get beat with rolled up New York Times for shitting inside. You feel me? That's it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. There's so much packed up in there.
I know. It's a lot.
That's excellent. And so is that the poem that you recited at New Year's?
You know what? That is the poem I did on New Year's weekend. I read it.
Okay.
I read it.
That's excellent.
I've definitely rewrote it about 3 or 4 times since I did that. But this is the final. I'm constantly rewriting my stuff.
So I have a question. So when you do your poetry, is it always inspired by something that has happened to you personally, or could it be things that happen in the world? Like, you know, where do you get the inspiration, if you will, for the poems that you write?
I mean, sometimes it is when it gets really deep. I have pieces that I have trouble performing sometimes because they're so like emotionally driven and they're so like personal that I don't even like really perform them anymore. Okay. But then there's other pieces that kind of inspire me just from like me seeing other people's experiences and, you know, stories that I hear, or just me witnessing someone experience something, you know. That's where a lot of my stuff comes. I mean, I also like the other personal stuff. When I first started writing on Instagram, I was more known as like an erotic poet, because I used to write a lot of erotic poetry, and that's kind of what I was known for. And that was more like personal.
Okay. There's something wrong with that?
No,
Listen,
it was fun.
It's all part of life, right?
Yeah.
It's all part of life. So we're gonna move on and talk about your new venture, right? You're like a butterfly. You're
My
evolving,
new baby.
right? You're evolving. But before we go there, I just want to tell everybody that they're watching the Nourish Spot Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. You could call us too. If you want to call and ask us a question, you can dial in at 607-301-0962. That number is 607-301-0962. And you can follow us at the Nourish Spot Hour on YouTube. So tell me, how did you decide, and when did you make the decision to move more into this entrepreneurial space. You have the creative space kind of just like mapped out, right? But from what I learned at the Women's History Month event, you have a big event coming up at an awesome, gorgeous, beautiful venue. I think it's in August. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, called the Diva Expo.
Yes.
So tell us about that, and well, before you get to that, tell us about how you made the switch to entrepreneurism.
Well, I had taken some time off of work, and it was time for me to go back, and I didn't really want to go back, but I needed to make money. So I thought to myself, well, what can I do to work for myself? Because I'm here busting my ass and making somebody else wealthy. And I'm like, I can use that same energy for myself. So that was the first thing that made me want to start the Rose Garden events. And I thought that making it more driven towards an arts and entertainment platform was more my niche. And I knew that I can do that easily. It's part of what I was already doing. So that's kind of where that came from. And then I did the first night with Kings and Queens event in October, and I had vendors there. And I never had vendors at my events before. And I liked it because I was able to bring people that I knew in, and they were able to make money, and I made money, and everybody made money, and it was all good. People came in, they had a great experience, they had a great show, and then, it just was a win for everybody. So I thought to myself, I want to do like a vendor event. That's kind of the idea kind of sparked. And originally it was planned for all businesses, men, women, everything. And because I know a lot of people that are entrepreneurs. I know a lot of people that are trying to build their own businesses. So I'm like, why not just get everybody that I know that's trying to get out there, let's all get together and, support each other, empower each other. And then I had a conversation with a woman that I know. Her name is Ashanti Middleton, and she has her own wine company. It took her 7 years to create the wine. Okay. And they got in. Her and I talk a lot about being a business owner and entrepreneur and all that. And before I got off the phone with her, she says, us women, we got to stick together.
Sure do.
Because everyone expects us to tear each other down. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I got off the phone with her, and immediately it was just like, I have to do this for women. This vendor event that I want to do has to be for women. And that's where the vision for Vendiva came from. Okay. I was like, I'm going to focus on women business owners and entrepreneurs. I can bring a whole performance aspect to it because of that's already my thing. And that's kind of where it started. And then I get goosebumps when I tell this part. I made a vision board in November. I never made one before, but I'm crafty, so I was like, I could do this. Right. I made one. It was beautiful, and I put Vendiva on it. I wrote, I cut out the letters, says Vendiva. I had multicultural women all over the place. And then in one little corner, there was a sketch of the New York City skyline. Okay. And there's the Chrysler building is the most prominent building in the sketch. Right. So it was just sitting there in November since November. Okay. Fast forward to January, I'm shopping for venues. I find this venue. It's called the Bourdon LIC. It's in Long Island City, Queens, where I grew up. And I really wanted to do it in Queens. And
is it the old Borden? Do you know if it's the old Borden plant?
I don't know.
It might be.
It might be.
There used to be a Borden milk plant.
It's right next to the 59th Street Bridge and across from the river from Manhattan. So I knew I was going to like the venue. So I kind of didn't want to go because I knew that walking in was just going to solidify it, and I wasn't going to walk out without booking it. And I went, and sure enough, I fell in love with it. And I didn't care what it was going to take. I knew it was more than my budget. But I wanted to make it happen there. Something just was telling me to do it there. And I took pictures from the venue of because it's right across from Manhattan. So I took pictures and all that. And then I get home and I walk in the door and I see my vision board and I see the sketch with the New York City skyline, and I like broke down. I broke down into tears because I'm like, I look at the pictures that I took right from the venue, and there's the Chrysler Building right there, and there it is on the vision board, and I'm like, wow, like it just like I had this realization of like how I have the power to manifest things that I want, and that was the most empowering feeling in the world. And like that. Humbling, you know.
I love that. I love what you just said, that you have the power to manifest the things that you want. And I would tell you that I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
One of the hashtags on my Instagram post is manifest your dreams. Because you do have to set your intention. So listening to you, the lessons that I'm learning, I hope the listeners are learning, is that one, you have to first believe that what you want can happen. Right?
For sure.
And then you have to be intentional about it. So you got a piece of paper, you got some scissors, some glue, right? Some magazines, right? And you laid it all out, right? You laid it out, right? You made the blueprint, if you will,
did.
Right?
Before the glue went down.
Right, you made the blueprint. And then you did your homework, you went out and you researched, you visited venues, okay? So you put the work in, right? And then you see it manifest. Like, I understand, because that's actually what happened with the Nourish spot. I had the vision first, right? And then I had to put the work in. And look, now I'm in business almost 2 years. So now, when did you start? When did you incorporate your business yet?
Yes, I incorporated my business in November.
Okay.
Right around the time that I made the vision board.
Okay.
Because I thought to myself, the scale of how I want this event to go, I need to be an official business. Okay. And, you know, I just want to be my own boss, you know. I got tired of, you know, like giving so much of myself dedicated, because I wasn't a lazy worker. I'm not a lazy worker. My work ethic is crazy. So I dedicate myself, like the job becomes very important to me, you know. And I felt like I was giving so much, and it's like, I mean, I was getting paid pretty well, but like that's all it was doing. It wasn't like fulfilling anything else. And I just wanted to be my own boss. I want to get up in the mornings and take my kids to school and go to the gym and then run my business. And
so, did you actually leave the job?
I did.
Wow, congratulations, Jasmine.
Thank you.
You are watching the Nourish Spot Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. I'm Dawn Kelly. I'm the CEO of the Nourish Spot, located here in Jamaica, Queens, New York City on Guy Brewer Boulevard. That's 10705 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard. We sell nice frosty smoothies.
I killed mine.
That you can customize. You can customize with fresh organic vegetables and fruits and all different kind of non-dairy bases. So we're open till 7 o'clock today. Please drop by. And if you can't drop by, you can contact Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub, or Seamless, and they can pick up the food for you. We've been talking with Jasmine Rosario. She's the CEO of Rose Garden Events, and she is a spoken word artist, and a good one at that.
Thank you.
We're going to take a few minute break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nourish Spot Hour. I'm Dawn Kelly, CEO of the Nourish Spot, and I'm here with Jasmine Rosario, CEO of Rose Garden Events, and we're talking about entrepreneurship and our journey to financial freedom and liberty and choosing what you want to do with your time and your effort. And before we move on, I just want to say something else. When I left corporate America in 2015, I wasn't sure actually what I was going to do, because I actually thought I was going to retire from there, you know, like at 60, you know, get to go watch and just chill, right? Just chill. But God had other plans. And the first thing I did was I partnered with a friend. Her name is Hanan. and we established a virtual PR company called Metropolis Group. And so, we kind of had some fits and starts, and, we've been trying our best to gather clients and, doing work for people. And lately, it's been getting better. We have a good client named Dorinda Walker. She's an author of a book called Protected by Purpose. We have another client. She's a barber. Her name is Jasmine Diva, and she was recently in Oprah magazine. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with a quote. And then we established, my children and I, we partnered together and we established the Nourish spot, right? But what is most important to me is public relations and marketing. So then I had another friend, her name is Keisha Barton. And she came to me and was like, I want to do some PR. And because I've been doing it for over 30 years, it comes quite naturally to me. So I'm like, tell me where you want me to go and I'll help you. So I understand that not having the confines of a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 4, and I'm not going to put it down because I enjoyed my job. I loved everything I did, and I loved my compensation package, okay? but the freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want, there's no comparison to it, right? So what I wanted to ask you is, what hurdles did you personally face, and how do you overcome them as a business owner?
Maybe probably one of the things that can be a little challenging is just attracting the like promoting and attracting the people's eyes and people's attention and keeping people's attention. Especially because I'm doing monthly open mics. Okay. So it's like, you want people to come back, but people don't come back every month. Well, right. I do have some people that come back every month. Okay. Shout out to my regulars. Yeah, you guys know who you are, the real MVPs.
Repeat customers are best.
Yes, I love them. They support everything. Yes. But then there's people that come once in a while. But just getting like that attention and really getting myself out there, especially like using social media. Okay. And like all these, like you're learning, like I'm like taking my own like crash course in marketing because I'm making my own flyers, I'm putting together my own promo content, I'm putting together my own captions, I'm writing, and it's like, I'm like, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah, that's why you need people like the Global Vision Group International or Metropolis Group to help you. So
we're going to talk after this.
We can talk about that later.
I'm tired of all this.
So tell me, I have another question. How do potential strategic partners or clients or vendors reach you to be part of the Diva Expo?
Okay, so if you're interested in being a vendor, we are still accepting registration. June will be the last month because then it's crunch time. So you can contact me at info@therosegardenevents.com, and that's my email. Again, info@therosegardenevents.com. You can also reach out to me. I do respond to DMs on Instagram and stuff like that. So you can find me on Instagram at the Rose Garden Events also. And if you're interested in attending Diva, because Diva isn't just going to be an event with vendors. There's going to be a performance aspect to it. So we have spoken word poets lined up. We have some live singers. We have a dancer that's going to dance. All women. We have 3 women DJs. Oh, wow. That are going to be, playing music throughout the night. We're going to have a discussion panel with all women, 6 women, different walks of life, financial consultant, domestic violence advocate, mental health advocate, breast cancer survivor, real estate mogul, and there was one, she's like a gender educator. She educates about bias in gender and differences and how women are treated in certain communities and cultures and things like that. So they're going to do like a nice discussion about you know, what it's like to be a woman and having to basically work twice as hard to get half of what men get.
Yeah.
So we really got to work 4 times as hard.
Yeah, economic parity is a whole nother issue.
Yes.
Now, you know, I realized you didn't say what day the event is. You haven't said what time the event is.
Yes.
Do people go to Eventbrite to get tickets?
Go to Eventbrite to get your thank you. The ADD is like on hyper.
So what day is it?
It's Thursday, August 8th.
Okay.
It's from 5 p.m. to 12. It's
to midnight.
Yeah, it's night because of the view of Manhattan.
Right.
I wanted it to be at night so people
Right.
can have like a really nice experience seeing the beautiful, it's breathtaking. It's at the Bourdon LIC in Long Island City, Queens.
How much are tickets? How much are tickets if you're coming as a guest? How much are vending slots?
So attendee tickets are, general admission is $45 and VIP is $55. And if you use discount code Diva, you get $5 off on your tickets. The VIP tickets come with a swag bag. It's gonna have like gifts and raffle tickets. We're gonna be raffling off a bunch of gift cards and fun stuff for you guys. And what was the other question?
Oh no, I said the date, the time, and
on
Eventbrite. And vendor.
Oh, the vendor fees.
Yeah.
The basic package is the silver package. The venue has indoor space and outdoor space. So the indoor space is 5,000 square feet. The outdoor space is 6,000 square feet. So it's huge. And the vendor fees start at $200, but we're running a promotion for the month of June, so you can get that space for $125.
Okay.
And if you're gonna do it outside, it would be $150.
Okay.
And you can register on the website at www.therosegardenevents.com/smallbizexpo. And you can register there, or you can just reach out to me and I'll send you the link.
Perfect. Now, I hope you all are listening out there, especially if you have family members that are vendors. This looks like it's going to be a stellar event in a stellar venue. And so I suggest you guys reach out to Jasmine as soon as possible. I'm going to repeat it for you. She said you can either email her at info@therosegardenevents.com. You can DM her on IG at The Rose Garden Events, or you can reach out through the website, which is www.rosegardenevents.com/smallbizexpo. So, Jasmine, I really thank you very much.
Shout out?
Of course.
I have to give a shout out to two of our sponsors. Michelob Ultra is actually sponsoring us with some beers.
Excellent.
And Ms. Laser NYC is a laser hair removal spot that's women owned. And they're also one of our sponsors. So
that's another thing. Any of you out there, any of you companies out there, I feel like calling some of you out, but I won't. Any of you companies out there where women is one of your target populations, I would hope that you would consider reaching out to Jasmine Rios and put your money where your mouth is. Let's make this event, the Diva Expo, #1.
Yes.
Let's make it a smashing success.
Yes.
Okay?
So we come back next year.
Yes, so we can come back next year. So before we close out for the hour, there's a question that I ask all my guests. And so I have to ask you because we're called the Nourish Spot Hour.
Okay.
And as I mentioned about 15 times, I'm the CEO of the business. So we nourish the community with healthy food and beverages, right? To give them a respite from some of the stuff that is distributed in our communities. I want to know, how do you nourish yourself, Jasmine? What do you do for rest and relaxation, to feed yourself? How do you nourish yourself? And your children, because I heard you say you have kids.
Yes. That's a very, it's hard to answer that question because I feel like I do so much for everyone else I don't always have time to do stuff for myself. But recently I have started doing stuff for myself, and that's actually, I've been traveling. I haven't really done that often. So these last few months I've kind of taken a few trips. I'm taking another one, and it's kind of like that's what I'm doing to like help myself just relax and kind of tune out for a little bit, unplug, because I feel like I'm always being pulled in so many directions. I can never, like, text messages, emails, DMs, phone calls, voicemails. It just gets to be a lot. And sometimes I just want to like disconnect for a few days.
Right. I understand. I just came off a vacation. They had to actually run some previously recorded tape for me because it is important. Mm-hmm. Self-care is the best care. And mm-hmm. something that my mother, I can't wait till she hears these podcasts. But my mom is known for the cliche.
Yeah.
I call her the cliche lady, right? But my mother always said, if you don't take care of yourself, who else is going to take care of you? So,
ain't that right?
And you show other people how to take care of you by how you take care of yourself.
That's true.
So if you're out there taking care of the world and you just falling apart, then you're not setting a good example, mm-hmm. right? We're not setting a good example for our children. I have a son and a daughter, mm-hmm. and I hope that the example that I've set for them is that you put yourself first, because I can't fill your cup from an empty cup, right?
For sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And hearing about Jasmine Rios and
Rosario,
excuse me. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I was good the whole
show. She married
show.
me all of a sudden. She married me to Mr. Rios.
No. Jasmine Rosario and the Diva Expo.
Yes.
And your poetry. And I'm just wondering, do you want to send us off with one more?
Oh, geez.
Could be short.
Yeah, I'll do a little one.
Oh, there we go. Thank you very much.
It's a little steamy, but not too bad.
Okay.
All right.
All right. It's Saturday night.
We're adults.
It's Saturday night.
This is a piece titled "The Leap." Never fall for a paradox like me. You see, I would write poetry on you, skin soaking up my words as they creep into your psyche. Poetic enticement is my forte. Just read into me, baby. Promiscuous adjectives scribbled down your spine, filthy verbs engraved across your chest, fantasies penned. If you beg, I would gladly write again. Have my way with the very same words that stutter off your lips after I'm done with you. Never fall for a tempest like me unless you're thirsty enough to weather my tropical storm. You see, I'm an eccentric burst of summer rain. You hate to love as much as you love to hate. Don't slip for me, baby. I'm torrential. I'm downpour. A reckoned force you haven't quite yet wrecked. Never fall for a canvas like me. There isn't enough paint on your palette to brush my silhouette one stroke at a time. You're better off finger painting a mural of your addictions between my thighs. You see, I'm that frame that never seems to hang evenly on the wall, but you never mind slightly shifting me and taking a step back to admire my symmetry just for an excuse to touch me repeatedly. Never fall for a person like me that tells you to never fall for a person like me. Don't say I didn't warn you. Thank you.
Wow! This is the best Nourish Black Hour shows yet.
Saturday night.
Yes!
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Listen, Cassell, if you out there, girl, drinks on me.
Thanks, Verb.
Yes, we really, really appreciate you.
No, thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Everything.
You've been watching the Nourish Spot Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. Thank you very much, Jasmine.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you going forward.
Yes.
Hopefully we can figure out a way to partner, and we can help you make sure that more eyes and ears know about the Diva Expo, and as a result, more people are aware of more female vendors and artisans across New York City.
Please, there's so many.
You guys have a wonderful week. and make sure you nourish yourself.
Peace.